So a couple of weeks ago, I was at the mall with my 2-year-old and she was getting a little tired, so we sat down on one of the benches there, and then a younger guy, probably in his mid-20s or so, came up to us and said, "Oh, your daughter is so cute." I said thanks. He then asked if I had any advice for a younger guy who wanted to start a family of his own. I was caught off guard, so I blurted out something about getting in as much sleep as you could and how fatherhood is one of the most rewarding things ever.
Emotional context, Sherlock.
I've been asked for advice by new parents or expectant parents, but never from someone who was just thinking about having a kid. There has to be more to it than just trying to get in more sleep while you still can. So I turned to my dad blogger friends on Facebook, and here's what they said. Tyler Ingram said, "If you love your free time, it will be like 20 years until you see it again. Don't have kids just for the sake of it, and make sure you have a good steady stream of income, because kids aren't cheap. Oh, and you can sleep when you're dead." Larry Bernstein said, "Becoming a parent is an amazing thing that will change your mind in many incredible ways. However, it is the greatest responsibility you will ever have, and you will need to be willing to put someone else first unconditionally." And this kind of echoes a sentiment that Stacey Robin Smith shared. An important consideration: what is your motivation to want to be a dad? Being a dad is the most challenging and rewarding thing I have ever done. And that's really a big question. Why do you want to be a dad in the first place? Just to keep up with the Joneses, or you see all your other friends becoming parents and you want to join the club? Realistically, one of the biggest considerations is that you have to realize it's not about you anymore as soon as you become a parent. Anthony Griffin said, "Start doing selfless things and finding enjoyment in it. Do things for others and remember that you are training yourself to be a better caregiver and partner. Support is everything." Jeremy Barnes said something similar. "Becoming a parent means the complete subversion of you. As important as it is to try and maintain your ID, you need to be prepared for the new reality that your life now revolves around the needs and wants of somebody other than yourself. When you're a teenager or a young adult, you really are trying to find yourself, establishing your career, getting new relationships. But when you become a parent, it's less about you and much more about your children." Richie Williams said, "If you have a hobby that takes a lot of your time, be prepared to cut it down, as ain't nobody got time for that." Dennis Pang said something similar. For him, get as much of the traveling that you ever wanted to do out of your system before having kids. With kids, traveling will never be the same again. We tried to scratch our travel itch as much as we could before we had Addie, and I'm sure a lot of parents feel the same way. John Wall says something similar. "I agree with what others are saying. Be ready to give up certain aspects of your life and commit everything to this new life. Also be prepared to know love like you've never thought possible." Doug Moe really sums this up. "A friend of mine told me that before you have kids, you think that you have a set amount of love in your heart, but that having kids opens up a whole new amount of love you didn't even know you had." As cliche as it might sound, you really don't know what it's like being a parent until you become one yourself. Really ask yourself why you want this, but also recognize that you will never be totally ready. And as exhausting, as frustrating, and as draining as parenthood may be, it's also the most rewarding experience you will ever have. Now meet me over at camera 3. So now I want to talk about something called the Donate 3 Challenge. My friend Zach Rosenberg over at 8-Bit Dad recently posted up a video about this, and I want to participate too. Basically what it is you find 3 items around the house of reasonable value that you want to donate to charity, and put them in a box, shoot a video, and nominate 3 more people to do the same. As a pack rat myself, it's really hard for me to let go of all my stuff, so convincing myself and getting myself into the good habit of donating things to charity that would be more useful to other people is a great habit to develop. The 3 items that I'll be donating are the Arctic Sound S111 portable stereo speakers, the KMD TalkBack Pro universal gaming headset, and the iOS HD Media Center. The 3 people that I would like to nominate for the Donate 3 Challenge are John Chow, Oscar Gonzalez, and Stephen Fung. So that wraps up this week's vlog. I'll put links to all the other dad bloggers that I mentioned in this video in the doobly-doo, so make sure you check that out. So until next time, be generous, be selfless, and don't forget to be awesome. I'll see you next week. Yeah.